Introduction. Welcome to Thrive Sphere, your trusted channel for science-backed wellness after 50. Today's theme, animal protein versus plant protein for bone health, a top concern for our age group. We'll dive into why protein matters for bones after 50. Comparison, animal protein versus plant protein. Scientific studies and real-world results. Practical meal planning. Common myths debunked. Personalized guidelines for your diet. Chapter 1, Why Protein Matters for Bones After 50. When most people think about bone health, they immediately jump to calcium or maybe vitamin D. And while those are certainly important, there's another essential player that often gets overlooked: protein. Especially after the age of 50, protein becomes absolutely critical for keeping your bones strong, your muscles functional, and your body resilient against fractures. 1. Protein fuels osteoblast activity. Your bones aren't just rigid structures, they're living tissue, constantly being broken down and rebuilt. The rebuilding part is carried out by specialized cells called osteoblasts, and those osteoblasts need protein to do their job. More specifically, they need amino acids, the building blocks of protein. Essential amino acids like leucine, leucine, and arginine stimulate osteoblast proliferation and activity. If you're not getting enough high-quality protein, osteoblasts become sluggish, and your bones become more vulnerable. Research shows that elderly adults with higher protein intakes tend to have greater bone mineral density, BMD, and a lower rate of fractures. Protein is literally the fuel for bone regeneration. 2. Collagen synthesis depends on protein. Did you know your bones are about 30% collagen by volume? That's right, beneath the hard, mineralized surface of your skeleton lies a flexible, fibrous matrix made mostly of collagen. Think of collagen as the steel rods inside reinforced concrete. It gives your bones tensile strength and reduces brittleness. And where does collagen come from? You guessed it, protein. Your body synthesizes collagen using amino acids like glycine, proline, and lysine. If your diet is low in protein, especially the kinds rich in these specific amino acids, your collagen production takes a hit. This results in bones that are more prone to microcracks and stress fractures over time. Also, collagen is the foundation upon which calcium and other minerals are deposited. Without a strong collagen base, your bones can't properly mineralize, no matter how much calcium you consume. 3. The age factor, sarcopenia and osteoporosis. After age 50, both sarcopenia, muscle loss, and osteoporosis, bone loss, start to accelerate. And here's the kicker, they're deeply connected. When your muscles shrink and weaken, they exert less force on your bones. This lack of mechanical loading reduces the stimulus for bone remodeling, which leads to a decline in bone density. It's a double hit: weaker muscles and weaker bones. Hormonal changes also play a huge role. In women, menopause brings a sharp drop in estrogen, a hormone that protects both muscle and bone. In men, testosterone gradually declines, leading to similar risks. These hormonal shifts make it even more crucial to support your skeletal system through nutritional means, especially protein. 4. Protein supports calcium absorption and regulates PTH. There's a persistent myth out there that a high-protein diet leaches calcium from your bones. That myth has been debunked by multiple studies. In fact, protein actually enhances calcium absorption in the gut, especially when dietary calcium intake is sufficient. Here's how it works. Low protein intake can cause an increase in parathyroid hormone, PTH, which triggers your body to pull calcium from your bones to maintain blood levels. On the flip side, eating enough protein helps keep PTH in check, preserving your bone stores. Balanced, protein-rich diets, when paired with calcium and vitamin D, result in greater calcium retention, not less. So instead of fearing protein, the goal should be to get enough of it while also ensuring your mineral intake is up to par. And let's not forget acid-base balance. While some animal proteins can be acid-forming, you can easily neutralize this by pairing them with alkalizing foods like leafy greens, sweet potatoes, and fruits. 5. protein accelerates fracture healing. Protein isn't just important for prevention, it's vital for recovery. When an older adult suffers a fracture, the healing process places enormous demands on the body. Protein is needed for repairing damaged bone and soft tissue, supporting immune function, preventing muscle wasting during periods of immobility, synthesizing growth factors like IGF-1 that drive regeneration. Clinical studies show that seniors with higher protein intake heal faster, experience fewer complications, and regain mobility more efficiently after surgery or injury. Conversely, those with protein malnutrition may face infections, pressure ulcers, longer hospital stays, and even higher mortality rates. Pushpin bottom line. After 50, protein is no longer optional for bone health, it's foundational. Whether you're trying to prevent osteoporosis, reduce your risk of falls and fractures, or recover after an injury, your bones rely on daily, high-quality protein to stay strong and flexible. But what kind of protein is best? Should you stick with traditional animal sources, or are plant proteins just as effective? That's exactly what we'll dive into in the next chapters. Chapter 2, The Muscle-Bone Protein Axis, How Muscle Force Stimulates Bone Remodeling. Your bones and muscles work in an incredible partnership, a dynamic duo that keeps your body strong, mobile, and resilient, especially after 50. The connection between muscles and bones goes beyond mere proximity, it's a biological dialogue mediated by mechanical forces and biochemical signals. The mechanical stimulus, muscle contractions trigger bone remodeling. Every time your muscles contract, whether during daily activities like walking or more intense exercise like weightlifting, they pull on your bones. This mechanical force is a critical stimulus for bone remodeling, the process where old bone is resorbed and new bone is formed. The cells responsible, osteocytes, act as mechanosensors, detecting strain and signaling for increased bone formation. Without regular muscle contractions, bones receive less stimulation, leading to bone loss and increased fragility, a phenomenon known as disuse osteoporosis. This is why strength training is especially vital after 50 to maintain both muscle mass and bone density. The biochemical players, leucine, IGF-1, and the mTOR pathway. Beyond mechanical forces, muscle and bone health are regulated at the molecular level by key nutrients and signaling molecules. Leucine, a branch-chain amino acid, BCAA, is a powerful trigger for muscle protein synthesis. It activates the mTOR pathway, mammalian target of rapamycin, which promotes cell growth, muscle repair, and even bone formation by osteoblasts. IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1, is a hormone stimulated by protein intake and exercise. It plays a crucial role in promoting osteoblast activity and collagen synthesis in bone matrix. In aging adults, declines in IGF-1 levels correlate with both sarcopenia, muscle loss, and osteoporosis, bone loss. But higher protein diets rich in leucine can help sustain these pathways, supporting muscle and bone regeneration. Strength training and protein, the perfect pair for bone density. Research consistently shows that combining strength training with adequate protein intake is one of the most effective strategies to build and maintain bone density after 50. Resistance exercise applies the mechanical stress bones need, while protein supplies the building blocks to repair muscle microtears and enhance bone collagen synthesis. Not only does this combo improve bone mineral density, BMD, but it also enhances balance, reduces fall risk, and boosts overall functional capacity. Meat on the Bone Chapter 3, Animal Protein, Pros and Cons for Bone Health. Animal proteins, found in meat, poultry, fish, eggs, and dairy, are often regarded as the gold standard for bone health. But like anything, they come with both advantages and caveats. Pros: complete amino acid profile and high bioavailability. Animal proteins contain all 9 essential amino acids in ideal ratios, making them complete proteins. This means they effectively support muscle repair and osteoblast function. Studies have shown positive links between animal protein consumption and higher bone mineral density, BMD, especially from sources like dairy and fish. For example, whey protein stimulates muscle and bone anabolic signaling pathways robustly, while fish provides omega-3 fatty acids that reduce bone inflammation. Cons: acid load, saturated fat, and processed meats. Some animal proteins contribute to a higher acid load in the body, potentially increasing calcium excretion in urine. This has raised concerns about bone loss, although this effect can be mitigated. Additionally, saturated fat in red meat and processed meats can increase cardiovascular risk, which is important to consider in older adults. Processed meats also contain preservatives and additives that may have negative health impacts unrelated to bone. Mitigations: pairing with alkalizing vegetables and choosing lean options. The acid load concern is counteracted by consuming plenty of alkalizing vegetables and fruits such as spinach, kale, broccoli, and citrus fruits, which neutralize acids and support bone buffering systems. Opting for lean cuts, fish, and low-fat dairy formats balances the benefits of animal protein with heart-healthy nutrients. Seedling Chapter 4: Plant Protein, Pros and Cons for Bone Health. Plant proteins are gaining popularity, but how do they stack up for bone health after 50? Common plant sources. Popular plant protein sources include legumes, beans, lentils, chickpeas, tofu and tempeh, fermented soy products, seitan, wheat gluten, quinoa, hemp, pea protein, and nuts. Benefits: fiber, phytochemicals, and lower acid load. Plant proteins come packed with fiber, which supports gut health and may improve calcium absorption. They're rich in phytochemicals, plant compounds like flavonoids and polyphenols, that have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects benefiting bone metabolism. Importantly, plant proteins tend to have a lower acid load, which may reduce calcium loss via urine. Potential drawbacks: lower leucine and incomplete amino acids. Most plant proteins have lower leucine content compared to animal proteins, which may blunt the anabolic signaling needed for muscle and bone building. Many plant proteins are also incomplete, lacking one or more essential amino acids. For instance, grains tend to be low in leucine, while legumes may lack methionine. Combining strategies for optimal bone support. To overcome these challenges, consuming a variety of plant proteins throughout the day is key, combining legumes with grains, like rice and beans, or using fortified products and blends that enhance amino acid completeness. Soy is unique among plants because it provides a nearly complete amino acid profile and contains isoflavones, which have estrogen-like effects beneficial for postmenopausal bone health. Microscope Chapter 5: Research Roundup, Head-to-Head Studies on Protein Sources and Bone Health. There's a growing body of research comparing animal and plant proteins directly for their impact on bone health. Cohort studies. Long-term population studies tracking dietary patterns show mixed results. Some find animal protein intake associated with higher BMD and reduced fracture risk, while others show plant-based diets equally protective or even better, likely due to the overall dietary pattern. Randomized controlled trials, RCTs. RCTs comparing whey, animal, soy, plant, and mixed plant protein blends reveal. Whey often leads to greater increases in muscle mass and bone formation markers, likely due to leucine content. Soy protein can modestly improve bone turnover markers and support BMD, especially in women after menopause. Mixed plant protein blends show promise but may require higher doses or fortification to match animal protein effects. Meta-analyses. Recent meta-analyses conclude that adequate total protein intake from either animal or plant sources supports bone health, with no conclusive evidence that one is vastly superior. The overall diet quality and nutrient cofactors, calcium, vitamin D, K2, magnesium, also heavily influence outcomes. Salad Chapter 6: Hybrid Diets and Optimal Protein Blends for Bone Health. Many experts recommend a flexitarian approach, combining the best of both worlds for bone and overall health. Flexitarian and Mediterranean patterns. Flexitarian diets emphasize plant foods but include moderate amounts of animal protein, fish, lean poultry, dairy, providing complete amino acids and bone-friendly nutrients without excess saturated fat. The Mediterranean diet, rich in vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, fish, and olive oil, has been linked to lower osteoporosis risk and better bone quality. Combining dairy and legumes for complete proteins. Pairing dairy products with legumes creates meals rich in essential amino acids and calcium, a double win for bones. Bone protective dietary patterns. Patterns like dietary approaches to stop hypertension, and Mediterranean diets provide high intakes of antioxidants, anti-inflammatory nutrients, and balanced protein sources, all supporting bone remodeling and reducing fracture risk. Sample day meal plan. Breakfast, Greek yogurt with mixed berries and walnuts. Lunch, lentil salad with feta cheese and mixed greens. Snack, hard-boiled egg and carrot sticks. Dinner, grilled salmon with quinoa and steamed broccoli. This plan ensures ample protein, calcium, and alkalizing foods. Alarm clock. Chapter 7, Protein timing and bone health. When you eat, protein can be as important as how much you eat, especially for older adults focused on muscle and bone health. Post-workout protein boost. Consuming protein within 30 to 60 minutes after exercise helps maximize muscle protein synthesis and the bone remodeling response. Breakfast protein. Studies show many adults consume too little protein at breakfast. Aiming for 20 to 30 grams of protein early in the day supports muscle maintenance and bone health. Even protein distribution. Rather than loading most protein at dinner, spreading intake evenly across meals helps sustain anabolic signals, leading to better outcomes in muscle and bone preservation. Chapter 8, Myths and Misconceptions about Protein and Bone Health. Let's tackle some persistent myths that confuse people about protein intake and its effect on bone health, especially after 50. Crossmark Myth 1: Animal protein leaches calcium from bones. This idea stems from early studies suggesting that high animal protein intake increases acid load, leading to calcium loss in urine. However, more recent and comprehensive research has debunked this. White-Heavy-checkmark the truth: while animal protein may cause a slight increase in urinary calcium, it also enhances calcium absorption from the gut. In fact, adequate protein, animal or plant, supports bone health by stimulating growth factors and improving calcium retention in bones. A 2017 meta-analysis in Osteoporosis International concluded that higher protein intake is actually protective against fractures when calcium intake is sufficient. Crossmark Myth 2: Vegetarians or vegans always have weak bones. It's not being plant-based that causes weaker bones, it's how the diet is structured. White-Heavy-checkmark the truth: many plant-based eaters thrive with strong bones by incorporating fortified plant milks, calcium, D, high-protein legumes, tofu, tempeh, supplements when needed, B12, D, K2. Regular resistance exercise. Studies show lower BMD in some vegans only when protein or calcium is inadequate. Crossmark Myth 3: High-protein diets damage the kidneys. This is a common fear, especially in older adults. But the science tells a different story. White-Heavy-checkmark the truth: high-protein diets do not harm kidney function in healthy individuals. The concern applies only to people with pre-existing kidney disease. If your kidney function is normal, you can safely consume 1.2 to 1.5 g/kg per day of protein to support bone and muscle health after 50. Pushpin bottom line: protein is your bone's ally, not enemy. Focus on quality, variety, and balance, not outdated myths. Chapter 9: Bone-supporting nutrient synergy. Protein alone doesn't build strong bones. It works best when combined with a full team of nutrients that support bone metabolism, remodeling, and mineralization. Key bone nutrients that pair with protein. Calcium provides structure, needs protein for transport and absorption. Vitamin D enhances calcium uptake and muscle function. Vitamin K2 directs calcium into bones and prevents arterial calcification. Magnesium stabilizes bone crystal structure and activates vitamin D. Collagen, protein matrix needed for bone strength and flexibility. Omega-3 fatty acids reduce inflammation and preserve bone mass. Foods that offer powerful pairings. Grilled salmon plus kale salad, rich in protein, D, K, and omega-3s. Tofu stir-fry plus broccoli plus sesame, protein, calcium, magnesium. Greek yogurt plus chia plus almonds, calcium, protein, magnesium, omega-3s. Tempeh plus quinoa plus red bell pepper, complete protein, iron, fiber. Pill supplements, when and how much? Vitamin D3, 1000 to 2000 IU/day, especially in winter or with limited sun. Calcium, 500 to 1000 mg/day, preferably from food. K2, -7 Malawian kwacha's 100 to 200 mcg/day if supplementing D3 or calcium. Magnesium, 300 to 400 mg/day from food plus supplement if needed. Pushpin synergy matters. When you consume the right combinations of nutrients, their effects multiply. Don't just add protein, create a nutrient-rich context for it to thrive. Chapter 10: How to choose what works for you. There is no one-size-fits-all approach. Your ideal protein strategy depends on your biology, lifestyle, values, and preferences. Woman #gender and hormones. Postmenopausal women, declining estrogen affects calcium metabolism and muscle mass. Higher protein plus resistance training equals better BMD. Older men, testosterone and IGF-1 decline, animal and plant proteins can support these anabolic pathways. Warning sign #sensitivities and dietary restrictions. Lactose intolerance, go for lactose-free dairy or fortified plant milks. Soy allergies, choose pea, hemp, rice, or nut-based plant proteins. Digestive issues, some may better tolerate animal proteins or fermented plant foods like tempeh or miso. Money bag budget and convenience. Animal proteins like eggs or sardines are affordable and rich in nutrients. Plant proteins like lentils, beans, and tofu are budget-friendly and versatile. Blends, e.g., quinoa plus legumes, can offer complete amino acid profiles without meat. Globe showing Europe-Africa sustainability and ethical values. Some prefer plant proteins for environmental or ethical reasons. Others choose grass-fed, pasture-raised, or wild-caught animal sources. Sample decision tree. Do I tolerate dairy or meat? Yes, use both plant plus animal. Don't tolerate? Go plant-based, supplement wisely. Concerned about ethics, environment? Choose sustainable sources or go flexitarian. Pushpin: the best protein plan is the one you can follow long-term, with enjoyment, comfort, and positive results. Weightlifter #Chapter 11, Lifestyle Foundations plus Protein. Protein works best when you build the right lifestyle around it. Bone health isn't just about what you eat, it's about how you move, rest, and recover. Flex biceps exercise synergy. Resistance training stimulates muscle growth and bone remodeling. Weight-bearing activities, walking, dancing, hiking, all stress bones in a good way. Power training, quick bursts, safely done, improve balance and reduce fall risk. Sleeping phase sleep and stress? Bone repair happens during deep sleep. High cortisol from chronic stress breaks down bone and muscle. Meditation, deep breathing, and good sleep hygiene can protect your skeleton. Droplet hydration and gut health. Dehydration can impair nutrient absorption and exercise performance. A healthy gut improves absorption of calcium, magnesium, and protein. Add probiotics, yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and fiber, vegetables, chia, oats. Pushpin: bone health is a full-body affair. Think beyond food, optimize your entire system. Chapter 12, Tracking results over time. How do you know if your protein plan is working? Don't guess, measure. Bar chart objective tools to track bone health. DEXA-scan, gold standard for measuring BMD, track every 1 to 2 years after 50. Bone turnover markers, blood or urine tests that show bone formation versus resorption. 25-OH-D to check vitamin D status. Serum calcium and magnesium, monitor balance and avoid excess. Open book subjective tools. Energy and recovery after workouts. Fracture history or fall frequency. Muscle mass or strength declines. 24-hour food recall. Are you hitting protein goals? Pushpin revisit your strategy at least once a year. Bone health is dynamic, your plan should be too. Microphone Chapter 13, Expert Voices and Community Examples. Let's hear from professionals and real people who've seen results. #Expert quotes. Protein isn't just for muscles, it's for your bones too. A well-balanced protein intake helps regulate hormones, calcium, and bone cell function. Registered dietitian. For my older clients, the combo of resistance training and daily protein intake has been transformational. They feel stronger, steadier, and more confident. Exercise physiologist. Busts in silhouette community transformations. I switched from mostly animal protein to a 60/40 plant-based blend, and I feel lighter and more energized. My last DEXA scan even improved slightly. Viewer, 62. After breaking my wrist at 59, I added daily collagen and pea protein. With weight training, I've built back strength and haven't had a fall since. Viewer, 65. Megaphone. Encourage your audience to share in the comments, what's your protein plan? What's helped you feel stronger? Chapter 14, Your 360 Degrees Bone Building Blueprint After 50. Let's summarize your ultimate plan to protect your bones. White-heavy checkmark daily protein goal. 1.2 to 1.5 grams per kilogram body weight day, x 75 kilograms equals 90 to 112 grams a day. Spread across 3 to 4 meals for optimal absorption. White-heavy checkmark per meal target. Greater than or equal to 20 to 30 g high-quality protein per meal. Add leucine-rich sources, whey, soy, lentils, tempeh. White-heavy checkmark at strength training. 3 for X week resistance plus weight-bearing movement. White-heavy checkmark support nutrients. Calcium, 1000 to 1200 mg day. Vitamin D3, 1000 to 2000 IU. K2, magnesium, omega-3s, collagen. White-heavy checkmark optimize lifestyle. Sleep 7 to 9 hours. Manage stress and cortisol. Stay hydrated. Get DEXA scan after 50 or earlier if high risk. Pushpin. Your bones are not just aging, they're adapting. Give them the fuel, pressure, and rest they need. Bullseye conclusion. Whether you prefer steak or seitan, eggs or edamame, both animal and plant proteins can support strong bones after 50 if chosen and combined wisely. Your key is to meet your daily protein needs. Prioritize quality and variety. Combine with smart lifestyle habits. White right pointing backhand index. Let us know in the comments, are you more plant-based, animal-based, or a mix? What's worked for your bones? Thumbs up sign if this helped you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with friends or family who want to stay strong after 50.